Say about the power play, goals in 11 the last 12. I know you coached up this power play. What has changed from the first half to the second half?
I think just continuity with the players. You bring a bunch of new guys in, and you're trying to replace Copperud, which is a tough task to do, and then trying to replace Lovell, and just to get those guys on the same page and get them believing in each other. And I think they've done a great job.
What can you say about the talent level on this year's power play compared to years past?
Well, they're different, obviously, Copperud was an elite shooter, and Timmy did his thing with being able to skate in circles around everybody. So, but with the guys we have now, you have a Potter and a Lucius and a Beck, and Beck can shoot it. So it's, and then we got a good net front guy in Shimmick and Kerwin. It's just a completely different look. We kind of set up the same way, but the skill sets that they have are completely different than what we had last year. But I wouldn't compare that one is better than the other. It's just a different skill set for each of the guys.
With the two games, obviously two very emotional, fast-paced games, back and forth. How do you guys keep the guys on the bench, locked in and not get caught up in the moment?
Well, it's difficult because we they're human, and us as coaches get caught up in the moment as well. So we want to just have their energy high and their focus high. I think the biggest thing was when we tied it up 5-5 on Saturday is to just be like, okay, take a breath here. Let's not do anything stupid and make a mistake. So it's just quick reminders like that on the bench. Also, I think Coach Powers did a great job Saturday when we were down 5-3 of just continuing with the message and continuing to tell the guys to play the right way, and we're going to win, and we ultimately did.
Coach, you've been here for a while now, and now you look at this team. Where does this team rank in terms of excitement for you going down the stretch and what they could do in the future?
Well, it's you don't want to poo-poo the past teams, but this is really exciting, and I think part of that is having the conference play. Normally we're kind of on a downhill trend right now, just trying to survive and not lose to a Lindenwood or something like that where it'll wreck our season. Now we're playing great teams every weekend, and nothing's going to change. Playing Duluth on the road and then coming back and playing Western, we just haven't had that in the past. And so to have this team with this much talent and continuing to play teams that are better and better each week is really exciting. So to motivate them for practice, even when Coach Powers wasn't here today, to see their excitement and see their commitment level because they know what's at stake and they know how exciting it is. It's been really good.
Sillinger's finding a stride now. What have you seen from him as of late to turn his kind of season around?
Well, I think that he's it's his fifth year of college, and I think he comes back and there's a bunch of new guys and new faces, and he's probably just trying to settle in a little bit the first half, but he was playing well. But now he's getting some goals, and when that happens, your confidence goes up and your excitement to come to the rink goes up. And I said when he got his first goal, I think I told Powers in the moment that I think he's going to end up with 10 or 12 goals, and it looks like he's trending that way. So he's a great player. We let him play. He's really improved on his defensive side of it and with his turnovers and things like that. But I think the way we've let him play and use his skill in his head for the last 3 years, it's really paying dividends for us now because he trusts us and we definitely trust him. So being that good of a player, he's just feeling it, and hopefully we can keep riding him.
What have you seen from Duluth so far when you look at what their season has and you guys faced them back in December?
Well, Duluth, in my opinion, is always a notoriously slow starting team for whatever reason. If you look at their national championship teams, they were just above 500, most of the season. They're well coached. I really like their head coach. They got a great staff and they work hard, and he's demanding on them, and playing in that place is no joke. So we know what we're going into. We know that they're good. We know they can win games. We know they can beat anybody. It's just a matter of convincing our guys of that, and I think they'll believe us when we tell them that. So we're excited to go, but we know it's going to be a challenge and it's going to be difficult.
You guys are 13th in the pairwise right now. What needs to kind of happen as a safety net if you don't get the automatic bid to ensure that you're kind of in a comfy for an at-large bid? I
think you just have to keep kind of winning at the rate that we are, and I don't know what our percentage would be, 64% or 66%. I don't know what it is, but just what do we got? 6 games left.
Yeah.
So you probably got to win 4 or 6, give or take. But with that being said, we're not looking at the safety net. We're kind of looking at, let's just keep winning. Let's win Friday, and if we win Friday, let's win Saturday, and then everything will take care of itself. So it's kind of a one game at a time, one series at a time kind of thing.
What are some things that you are taking from the previous series when you met with Duluth and taking it into now?
Well, we looked at some film for sure, and we're definitely going to make some adjustments on how they play. They play a really good style and a hard style to play against, and so we definitely worked on a few things out there today that we're going to change a little bit, and hopefully it pays off for us.
How do you think that hard style of play translates to the penalty kill? I know they've struggled a bit on it, but what have you seen from them in that area?
From our penalty kill or theirs?
Their penalty kill.
Sometimes when you play as hard as they do, sometimes you get out of position because you're working so hard, and they always say you got to work hard, but you got to work smart. We're expecting it to be very difficult to go there and score on their penalty kill, no matter what the stats say. Like I said, they get better and better as the year goes by because they're so well coached, and Sandy does such a great job. So whatever we've seen the first time they were here, they're going to be improved on that, probably tenfold. So we're expecting to go in there and have a difficult time. The goal for our power play, I tell the guys, is we got to figure out a way to get a goal a game. If we can do that, we're usually successful. If we get 7 power plays, 1 is still successful. If we get 2, we still need 1. So 1 goal. So that's the goal, and we've been pretty consistent doing that.
When you talk, obviously playing teams again and being in a conference, so with that this year, not that obviously you haven't played teams again before, but you mentioned a lot with watching tape, but the challenge in that, the kind of the advantage, like disadvantage with playing the teams a second time.
I think it's an advantage, if you will, for both teams. You kind of know their personnel, like they've got some good freshmen, they've got the Plant brothers that are incredible players. So that was the first time we saw them, the last time we played. So we know what they're capable of. We know their speed. If you can remember just how many times they went wide, a few of their players, and beat our defensemen. So we're aware of that now. And our defensemen, when they go out, they're going to say, that guy's really fast. I better make sure I have a good gap. So with that being said, both teams, they're going to know what our game's like. So they're going to make adjustments off of that. They're going to understand, what our power play does or how we kill. So it's an advantage for both teams. It's a little bit of a chess match, but ultimately it comes down to who executes the best, and that's who's going to win.
Coach, it was a pretty brand new roster coming in with a lot of transfers, a lot of freshmen as well, but are there a couple of players, maybe 1 or 2, that have really exceeded your expectations so far this year?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have done really well. I think Bozer's done a great job on the back end. I can't wait to see that kid develop once he gets strong and spends a few summers here lifting weights. So he's done a great job. I think, our transfers, like Shimmick has done an unbelievable job. His leadership, the little intangibles that most of the fans or the media wouldn't see that he brings has been incredible. Ryan Kerwin has been a breath of fresh air, just very laid back and just so chill, if I could use that word, and just an incredible player. Beck's been the same thing. He's a much better player, much better all-around player than I thought he would be. No disrespect to him, but just what I can see the ceiling for him is possible NHL player there. So there's guys I'm missing out, obviously, but everybody's really meshed well, and I think this team really loves each other and they want to play for each other. So I'm looking forward to the next 6 weeks here.
Last few?
In the final stretch of the season, what are some things you guys are still trying to tighten up on and improve on?
Always defensive zone. You can never get that. You can never be perfect in the defensive zone. So we worked on it again today. We've been working on it consistently. I think Mike Corbett, our new coach, has done a great job with those guys with a few different drills, and then forechecking as well. I think that's probably been something we haven't been great at, and we continue to work on that again today. And so those 2 things, the D-zone coverage and the forecheck, I think if we can continue to get better at those, then good things are going to happen.
Where do you stand on an injury standpoint with Dylan Jackson?
I'm not sure. We haven't talked with I stay out of that place. So we'll see how he goes. I know that he's progressing, but we just want him to be ready for the stretch drive. So But I don't have a definite answer for you.
All right, thanks, Coach.